What's up, Starcraft fans? Today we're doing the tier list for No Money, More Problems on Dawn Vermilion. Brian, let's hear the mutation.
Donny Vermilion, the best map in the game, is where we have to gather 20 xenon crystals and return them to the stabilizer in the middle of our base. The crystals appear once lava recedes from the low ground. But we need to flee to the high ground while the lava is up. Resource gathering is severely limited. Income is primarily through collecting resource pickups on the map. Enemies explode upon death. Tornadoes will throw your units around.
We have Zero and Eviling in the call with us today. How are you guys?
Good.
Good. That's
All
awesome.
right.
All right. Weekends are always a nice time to record, isn't it? So, Zero, how do we rank the commanders this week?
So you'll have, like the name of the mutation says, you'll just have less money. So it's about how well you, I guess, complete the mission while having less money. The more problems part isn't that impactful. The other mutators are, yeah, they're like annoying, but they won't be game changing.
How about you, Eviling?
Yep, that's a good way to put it. All these mutators are annoying, but none of them will outright kill you. So it's just a matter of how well can you operate on a very low economy, depending on how you do the pickups too. Like there's actually one commander that will semi benefit from this, but self destruction is more of the thing that could wipe your army if you're not careful. Just be mindful of it, and you should be fine. If you do with slim pickings manage to get a larger army, Twister is going to get very annoying, especially when you try to pathing through. There's a lot of ramps on this map.
Yes.
Yeah, they love to camp the ramps, and if you got a big army, your army might not even get to its destination and might even get killed by the Twister. So it requires some paying attention, which is more of the annoying part. You're gonna have to play a little differently, but nothing too major.
All right. Okay, let's begin. Abathur, where do we have him?
I have him from SA. He's very well known for being able to operate with a very small economy, and there's nothing in here. I mean, maybe Twister does interfere with his early luring for a brutalist, but the Twisters are relatively slow. Just stay away from the ramps. That's where the Twisters love to get you. But yeah, you can pretty much make almost any of his prestiges work for this. I think just get that first early ultimate evolution and then just proceed on.
Okay. How about you, Zero?
Yeah, I have him in S tier. This is how biomass works. Having a smaller army with just a few strong units is actually kind of good for him. Yeah, he doesn't really struggle in any point of the game. Like once you get your brutalist, you're kind of just fine for like majority of the early to mid game. The self destruction can get annoying because it just keeps chipping them down, but it's nothing too major. You can also just skip the ultimate evolutions and go either like P1 Ravagers. You should be able to solo this whole mission with like 5 Ravagers. Or you can go like P2 Swarm Hosts and that works too. So yeah, many options, all are good. So I think S tier.
Yeah. Also, if you have trouble with luring enemies, you don't need to do it on Dawn Vermilion. Just put toxic nests on the ramp, and the first wave will give you the biomass. Okay.
Yeah.
Prestige-wise, no prestige or second prestige, or first prestige if you want that.
Yeah.
Technically,
Have fun with it.
Even the third
P3
prestige.
can work, but yeah, I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah. If you're really good at luring, third prestige will still work, but, if you're not, you don't have to do it. So, Abathur, S tier. Alarak, where do we have him?
Despite him being army commander for the most part, he can still do this mission with just his hero unit and mothership. So once you get the mothership, it will be pretty smooth still. You have to, like, I guess, be pretty mindful of them. You don't want to be taking, like, a lot of damage, else your mothership will just get drained over time. Of course, adding supplicants will kind of help, allow Artanis to tank a bit more. But if you just take your time and clear, there shouldn't be too much of an issue. It's not as easy as, like, some of the better commanders, which is why I only have him in A tier, but he's still solid.
How about you, Eviling?
Yep, pretty much the same assessment I have. He's a solid commander for this. You can get by with a very small army. I have him from A to B. You can do Prestige 3. That'll give you a nice anchor point for the mothership early. It's just the hard part is getting the gas to get the mothership out. That's going to be a little rough to manage, but you'll eventually get that 400 gas and get it out. And you can also do P1 if you can get like four Wrathwalkers out, and then the good thing about slim pickings is it's a little more. It benefits you if you are a mineral based commander, which in some ways Alarak is. He needs a lot of supplicants to either power up Ascendants, or if you're using P1 to power up the souls for the P1 buff. Now, the very nice thing about this self-destruction, like if you're using P1, you can just throw your you don't have to need a Ascendant to sacrifice or shoot Alarak to sacrifice the supplicants. It's just like, I got self-destruction, I'll just throw the supplicants in there and I can start pressing the souls into my mech. So yeah, there's two ways of playing this, I think.
Okay. So, I think you definitely want the third prestige here, right?
I'd still recommend it, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Alarak goes in A tier. Arcturus, where do we have?
I have him from S to A. He does rely a lot on an army to get established, but if you think about him this way as a commander, like other commanders, let's take for example Karax. To power up, you gotta dump money into solar efficiency in order to get his free damage out. Arcturus kind of operates the same way. You have to get his mandate going. So once you get his mandate going, then it starts paying like the dividends out in order to proceed with the mission. So it's a little hard to. It takes much more investment for him to get the mandate rolling. But once you get it rolling, then the rest of the mission is going to be easy. And he has the ability, once you take your expo or secure the expo island, then you're able to plop down ESOs, and that's a lot of free damage. Of course, it takes in the investment to set up all the ESOs, but there's no true time pressure on this map. I mean, there is time pressure, but no pressure like void risks, like bearing down on you. So, yeah, I think he'll be able to manage it. It's just the early part is going to be a little rough getting everything set up with the lack of minerals.
Did you say S to A?
I said S.
How about you, Zero?
I don't think he's S tier personally, just because his early game can still be like somewhat difficult if like the wave attacks you and you're either low on mandate or just don't have a lot of dudes. That could potentially go wrong, which is just not a thing a lot of other commanders have to really think about. But yeah, I think once you get past like that early game, he becomes pretty good. Especially because I think that if you just consistently drop bunkers, that equals to like 2 orbitals worth of income for minerals, which is still a lot better than what most commanders are gonna get. So yeah, I think A tier.
Are you going to make a case for S tier eviling, or is A tier fine?
Well, only reason, just to state it, the reason I had him in S, I thought about A to B, but I put him to S because he has the ability to drop a labor right on top of the crystal, so that kind of just shortens the mission and then allows it to be done with a higher chance of success. So, but if it's not unanimous, it's not S.
All right. Not unanimous, not S. Arcturus goes in A tier. Prestige-wise, you want the third one?
I'd say P1.
First one.
So you make mandate when inside the ESO, which is probably the way you're gonna be clearing the bases.
Increase income.
Yep.
That's smart. All right. Arcturus in A tier. Artanis, where do we have him?
Another army commander. This guy doesn't have that safe of a way to clear bases, unlike Arcturus. Now, with that said, his top bar is still pretty solid. the Archon dudes can probably clear like a large majority of the defenders in a base, and then your probably very few dragoons will just come in and slap the rest. So yeah, I think he's B tier. He just doesn't have that great of a way to clear bases, and you have to manage his top bar energy a lot.
How about you, Eviling?
I have Artanis from B to C for all the same reasons. He does require army. The good thing is Artanis doesn't require a huge army. In fact, the less, if you're going with goons, it's better not to have so many goons because when they go up that ramp, Twister's gonna have a field day with them. So, but his top bars do allow him a lot of especially with P3, it allows you to solidify the early game and buys you some time so that you can find enough of the mineral and gas pickups to field at least, I wouldn't say like maybe 20 supply worth of army, and then that you should be able to get the mission done with that, as long and then replacing whatever gets lost along the way. But yeah, anything but P1. Do if you pick P1, which just makes everything more expensive, you're asking for hurt.
So you're saying second prestige is okay?
Yep.
All right. So Artanis goes in B tier. Any prestige but the first one. I would personally still prefer the third one because Archons are so good, and also the super shield overcharge also really good. But anyway, Artanis in B tier. Dehaka, where do we have him?
Dehaka, very good at getting away with very little because Dehaka is free and you can power him up by killing enemies. So of course he benefits if he can get income. So definitely get those pickups when you can, and if you can get to the middle island, establish creeper hosts, that will definitely make the mission a lot easier. But I mean, if as long as you go around, get the pickups, and get enough so that you can get your pack leaders out, that should be more enough to get this mission done. I have him from SA.
S to A. How about you, Zero?
I have him in S tier. The hacker just kind of solos the mission until you get your pack leaders, and then pack leaders just kind of take over. They solo this whole mission. If once you get like extra resources, you just start making creeper hosts. Even in like small numbers, they still do really well. Could like take apart a large portion of the wave from a distance, so you're not gonna be losing any of them. So yeah, S tier.
Both of you say S. Let's say S. You want second prestige or any prestige will work?
Honestly,
I
any
think 2 or
prestige
3
works.
he will be fine.
2 or 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Dehaka, S tier. Phoenix, where do we have him?
The Phoenix. So despite him being a rather economy focused commander, kind of, he trades really efficiently still with his heroes, champions. Yeah, that's what they're called. So you won't be getting. You still like don't want to like throw them away, but you trade really efficiently. And this map, the defenders aren't that large, especially because you don't have to push like right away. You can kind of take your time. So yeah, even if he trades, the trades are not that bad. So yeah, he'll still. I don't think he'll struggle here. So I have him in A tier.
A tier. How about you, Eviling?
That's where I have Phoenix 2 here. I have him from A to B. P2 or P3, I mean, you're going to be able to get out your champions. They trade very well as long as they're the ones that are being sent to the front lines and not the shells. And it self-destruction, that's, yeah. It's like, oh, my champion blew up. I'll send in the next one. Oh, that one blew up too. I'll send in the next one until you capitulate. The main, I guess, if anything, the main problem here is Twister. So just navigating your champions around the Twister is going to be super annoying. A to B.
B. A to B. So, wait, did both of you say A?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Phoenix goes in A. You want the second prestige, right?
Yes.
Second prestige. Okay, let's move on. Han and Horner, where do you have him?
Han and Horner, kind of the same boat as Artanis. it, they're going to have problems with slim pickings. The good thing is their salvage helps them to
They
kind
add
of,
even more pickups.
yeah, they add more pickups, helps to kind of just maintain what you have on the field. But they do have a lot of free damage. If you have like mag mines are really good, especially if you have P1, that's going to be able to kill a lot of the crystal defenders for sure. And if you get enough of resources going, um, one of their free damage uh, units, strike fighters. So that'll help out quite a bit. Just being cost efficient with resources and outputting the damage. But still, yeah, it's a good amount of investment, and they bleed their investment. So yeah, B2C.
B2C. How about you, Zero?
Yeah, I have him in B tier. Another army commander that doesn't have a great top bar. The top bar is still like workable. It's just you have to not overuse their mag mines for the waves, which I, I guess some people can mess up, which is why only B tier. But yeah, their units are actually pretty solid in low numbers. They won't like take out all waves on their own, but they can like a few Hellions will be able to kite like a big red hybrid, in case like because that's probably what's going to be left over of a base after you're done hitting it with like strike fighters. So
Yeah,
yeah, I think
maybe.
B tier.
But then again, they have air units sometimes. For example, Vipers.
Yeah, fair enough.
Anyway, so both of you say B tier. Let's put Hot and Horner in B tier. Prestige wise, I guess you want the first one, right?
Yeah,
Any but
Karax.
3.
Anything but 3? Karax, where do we have him?
Yeah.
Karax. So yeah, space lasers are very good. You can't just get an observer and then just keep hitting the base with your space lasers, and yeah, we'll be clear. He has a lot of energy, so you can be like slightly inefficient with it, and yeah, you have a lot of leeway there. So yeah, I think S tier for him.
S tier. How about you, Eveling?
I have Karax from A to B. Space laser is really good, but it takes a good amount of gas to get going. So if you're, I mean, there usually the pickups are not too bad with RNG, but if ally is not helping with pickups, then that could definitely affect when you can get enough the solar efficiency upgrades going and getting the burning ground upgrade for your solar lance. Uh, yeah, it takes a little bit to get that going, but yeah, to me, not S because he just needs more to get going. But as long as you are not spamming orbital strikes early, like I see this happen way too much. First wave comes, they just spam orbital strikes to clear the wave instead of using solar lance. Use solar lance. That's going to be major for getting the most efficiency out of your energy early on, so that you can start pulling it up later.
Yeah, and I would add that you can actually spread stuff around. Like you can sneak a probe around the expansion or the east wrap of the expansion. Put a pylon there so you can get vision of the enemy base. So when the first wave comes, you can use one solar lance on the entire wave, and then use your other two solar lances on offense on the enemy base. So that's one way to do it. Anyway, not S tier. Are you gonna make are you gonna make a case for S tier Zero, or is A fine?
Fine. I think I get the point that he's a bit slow in the early game, especially if you get unlucky with the gas pickups.
Okay. Karax is in A tier. Prestige wise, you want the third one, right? Space
Yes.
lasers. All right. I did do Karax, no spending, but that was because TT also was in the game. So you can technically do a no spending run with Karax and Swann. It was pretty easy too, but maybe not the solo
Just to
queue.
be
Yes,
safe,
Swann,
it's
Swann
just
I2.
easy.
Yes. Anyway, let's move on. Kerrigan, where do we have him?
Kerrigan I have from S to A. So not only that she gets a free unit, there's no early attack wave to pressure her. She also can generate money. So this definitely helps get her going against slim pickings. The main thing, as usual for Kerrigan, is just don't lose her. But yeah, and she has Omega Worms, which allows you to cut the time to the crystals in half if you're using them to put a drone in and pick it up. Yeah, SA. I think you can make any of her procedures work, but preferably one with Omega Worms.
I thought you were gonna say preferably one. I was like, what? No, preferably not one. Anyway, what do you
Yeah.
think, Zero?
Yeah.
I have her in S tier also. The assimilation aura will help both you and your ally a lot. So even if he's playing like a bad-ish commander, with the it's not like an insane amount of money, but it's enough to help them a lot, especially if it's like a gas-heavy commander. So yeah, and the hero herself is strong enough to just solo the whole mission. You can go either P2 to just zap everything, or P3 to have the strong immobilization wave to be able to clear the bases, and giving your ally and yourself a lot more money. So yeah, I think either option's solid. So S tier.
Okay, so both of you say S tier. Let's put Kerrigan in S tier. Prestige wise, yeah, you can go 2 or 3. Even no prestige will work just fine. It's fine. You can have Kerrigan.
But yeah,
Just not the first one. You want Omega Worms. Let's put Kerrigan S tier. Nova! Where do we have him? Nova!
Nova. So yeah, her hero unit is okay, but it's not a hero unit you really want to rely on for the entire game. You kind of, I guess you can like clear the bases pretty well with the sabotage drone, but that still won't be the fastest, especially compared to like some other hero commanders.
Yeah, I
Now
guess.
her units, you'll probably still want to go for like Liberators and Ravens with your extra gas. You probably don't want like Marines because hotbar is good still. You'll be able to use it a lot less than normal, but it's still good to like wipe out the wave for a large portion of the base. But yeah, it'll be slower than like other hero commanders, but I still think she's solid, so I have her like A tier.
A tier. How about you, Eviling?
I have Nova to SA. She's, yeah, as Zero said, she's solid. Once she comes out, she's a free unit that can do a hell of a lot of damage. If you're using P3, you don't even have to worry about. You have to worry a lot less about losing her, and she still can clear a lot of encampments very, very easily.
Yes.
She has Super Cloak.
Yes.
And then the good thing about Slim Pickings is it's very mineral heavy if you're getting the pickups. So being very mineral heavy means you're gonna have a lot for airstrikes. So yeah, it's definitely going to limit the amount of stuff that you can get out as compared to like a game without Slim Pickings. But yeah, you don't need that much to defend your expo, to defend your bases. Yeah, she's gonna be able to accomplish it just with a few extra hoops to jump through.
Okay. Both of you say A tier. Let's put Nova in A tier. Prestige wise, you want the third one, right?
Third one, even like P1 can work, I'd say.
Yep.
With the third one, your cooldown for the nuke is like 2 minutes 40 seconds or something crazy like that.
But
Anyway.
shotgun's also pretty damn good.
Yeah, I guess. Alright, so first one or third one, just take your pick. Raynor, where do we have him?
Raynor suffers a lot from slip pickings because it takes away his most prized resource, mules. So pretty much it just gimps 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, and 0. The only prestige of his that is not severely affected by slim pickings is P1. So that would be my suggestion to go with this. Self destruction and Twister, they're annoying, but they're not going to outright kill you or self-destruction can outright kill you if you're not careful with it, but with P1 you have the added HP, so if you're making Marauders and Fire Bats, then they should be able to take a few self-destructions before going down. But yeah, try not to take any self-destructions if you can. B to C.
B to C. How about you, Zero?
That's about where I have him also. Not having mules, well, I guess you technically do have him, they're just mining one mineral, which just isn't worth it. What really cripples his economy. And yeah, his units aren't the greatest if you're going for bio, because yeah, bio is very low health, so it's gonna die. Alternatively, you can go like P3 and then just kind of rely on the top bar to clear the mission. No, the P3 units will be a lot more expensive, obviously, but you shouldn't be losing them as much as you would lose like bio. So yeah, I think either option can work. I'd probably go with P3, but I can see arguments for P1.
Yeah, I personally go for the third prestige as well. I think the top bar reduction is still that good. But, I don't think it'll change where he is, right? He's still like B or C?
Shouldn't.
Yeah,
Still
still.
bad.
Is it B or C?
I have him from B to C. Zero, you have him at B, you said?
Probably C.
Probably C.
C.
Okay.
C.
Both of you are okay with
I
C?
think he's.
Let's
yeah,
put
I think he's worse than
Raynor
the B.
in C. Stet Boy S tier. Let's move on. Just kidding.
Yeah,
Stet
pretty
Boy.
much. Super Gary good.
S tier?
Yeah.
Yep.
Alright, S tier.
Super Gary good and recycling. Going green is good for the environment, folks, and also for your economy.
And
He also
also,
gives you vision of the pickups with his satellites, so you don't even have to spread like vision units or structures everywhere. So you just see where they are.
and aside from that, you can also use either blue zone to speed up your crystal gathering, or green zone to keep your drones alive through the twisters.
Yep.
So S tier. Let's move on. Stukov, where do we have him?
Stukov, I have him from S to A. Just the fact that his psi emitter will start netting you pickups, so that kind of cascades down the way. Pretty much, as I said, Slim Pickings is kind of a more mineral dense, so all you need to build bunkers is minerals. Of course, with any extra gas you get, you're going to invest in the infantry upgrades. And if you are swimming in gas, make some queens and spread Ocular Symbiote around. That'd be helpful. But yeah, just his nature of being able to get pickups and just kind of snowball after getting so much and with very little effort of you just got to build more bunkers around the place. Stay.
S2A. How about you, Zero?
Yeah, I have him in A tier. The main reason I don't have him in S tier is because his early game can still be like rather tricky, and if he gets like a stronger composition with a lot of AoE, like say disruptive artillery, then yeah, that can kind of mess up the the trooper line that's making its way across the map of how many reavers and disruptors it's sending. But yeah, other than that, I think he's pretty solid. So A tier.
A tier. Prestige wise, he'll be the third one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Stukov goes in A tier. Swann, where do we have him?
One. So I think you're just gonna go P1 here, and then use factories to give you vision, while P1 drill just kind of chips away at the bases. He doesn't really struggle to any enemy composition, and the other two mutators don't really bother factories. So yeah, he's not very fast, but he will get the job done. So I still have him in A tier.
Okay, A tier. How about you, Evoling?
I have Swann from S to A. As he said, you and Tutu did the no
spending
income or no mining.
We were able to harvest. We said no spending because you'll be able to do the pickups anyway. So no spending is a better way to do it because you can harvest, but you can't use anything that you harvest. So yeah, no spending.
Yeah, and then something I did not mention an earlier tier list, Swann does have a way to half the travel time for crystal pickups or dropships.
Yeah, he can
You
float his
load an
command center.
SUV.
Oh yeah. For
Or dropships.
for normal people, you can load your SCVs in Hercules. Yes, but yeah, but what
Yeah,
Tutu did, like, yes, we did no spending, but like as long as he can keep his command center alive, it's technically a transport.
yeah, yeah. A super slow transport, but
Hey, it's
yeah,
hey,
don't. Yeah.
speed is not a requirement for transport. The only requirement of transport is being able to load stuff in. That's a transport. It technically is.
Okay. Alrighty.
Letter
Well, I said S to A.
S to A. Both of you said A. Let's put Swann in A. Not S, but you could
Yep.
still do
A
really
is not a bad place to be.
nice stuff with
See, I'm
Swann.
not opposed to S tier. I think he's really good still.
Wait. So why not S tier?
I don't know. Like, I'm fine with
He's
him
on the
being S
fence.
tier. Yeah.
He's on the fence.
He's either like bottom of S or top of A, I'd say.
Okay, that's S tier then. Tychus, where do we have him?
Tychus, so a commander that's known to be very mineral dependent and slim pickings is very mineral heavy. So he could actually power up faster if RNG goes in your favor and you're pretty good with the pickups. Self destruction and twister, they're minor inconveniences. Otherwise, Tychus P2 is going to play very normally. In fact, he might play even better because if slim pickings is in your favor, you're gonna be able to swim in minerals real quickly. Este.
S to A. How about you, Zero?
Yeah, I have him in S tier. Outlaws are good. You'll probably have to delay your eBay upgrades a bit more because you'll probably want to prioritize getting the medevacs for healing. But yeah, other than that, because of how many minerals you're getting, the fact that enemies aren't stronger, you don't really need them that much. And you having a lot more, well, not a lot more outlaws, just being able to get outlaws reliably. Still, despite the slim pickings, you'll still be able to beat this mission pretty easily. So that's tier.
Okay, both of you said S tier. Let's put Tychus in S tier. Vorazun, where do we have him?
Vorazun. So yeah, she is another army commander. Now, her time stop and black hole are actually really good on this map, just because you can kind of just pop them and then run past the enemies, grab the crystals, and then run back. So she doesn't have to push into bases. She probably won't be able to that much, which is what the reason I'm mentioning it here, because yeah, her units are naturally just really expensive, especially on gas, which you'll be having very little of. So yeah, your army won't be that large, but so yeah, you'll probably have to utilize the just running past the enemies, grabbing crystals, then going back home. So yeah, I think if you can do that, she's like B tier, maybe A if you're really good at it.
How about you, Eveling?
Yeah, I have Vorazun from B to C. Very army dependent, and then she needs a lot of income. Yeah, it's you're gonna be using P3 to generate as many free shadow guards as possible, and that'll be your supplemental army, and whatever you can make on top of that will be added nice, but don't depend upon some pickings going in your favor all the time. Just wait for time stop and go find those mineral pickups and try to get at least a decent sized army so that you can not die to attack waves.
Okay,
You
so
see.
both of you say B. Let's put Vorazun in B. Zagara, where do we have him?
Zagara, she has so if you have P1, you have a lot of free banelings, a lot of free scourges. Just got to put in the initial investment to the baneling nest and scourge nest. Or with P3, you get a very a pretty strong hero unit for free. And of course, you want to get her upgrades or health and regen upgrades, and the Medusa blades not so critical of upgrade, but it's there if you got the extra gas. I have her for A to B.
A to B. How about you, Zero?
I personally have her in S tier. The hero unit is very good. She will clear the bases pretty quickly. And then for base defense, you can use the bio launchers. Even in low numbers, they still
T2's
do really
favorite.
good on defending. So yeah, I think she's pretty straightforward here. The hero unit is really easy to use. There's like no risk to losing her because you just send your Hydras in and you stay at range with her. You can deep tunnel if you're in a dangerous situation, and even if you do lose her, you just have the free Banelings, so you won't be useless for that minute. You can at least like defend yourself. So I think S tier.
I'm not opposed to S tier. In fact, I initially had her in S tier. The only reason why I said A to B is with P1, I can imagine a lot of people are going to get wrecked by twisters because F2A move, and they're just going to keep on trying to go up the ramp, and that's going to get demolished. But if you're using P3, very little to worry about on the twister blocking you, and yeah, that's definitely an S.
Okay. So both of you are okay with S tier, turns out. Zagara S tier.
Yep.
Zeratul, where do we have him?
Tool. So you click E and then you win. This may be slightly complicated, but I believe in the people watching this, so S tier.
Sorry, I use different I use a different set of hotkeys. So which one is E?
Spin.
Spin to win.
Okay. I just need to confirm. What do you think, Eviling?
Yep, I have Zeratul for S tier. You can go P3, no mining, and spin to win. You can go P2 again. Some pickings is very mineral heavy, and Cannon's good.
Cannon's good. S tier for Zeratul. Do we have a double S?
See, Zeratul could be a double S.
Yeah.
Not Statboy?
No mining.
That boy, they could both be.
That boy requires some mining.
I
You
guess.
gotta get out super duper
This
Gary.
is a really easy mutation still, so I could see having a few double S's.
Yeah.
Double
I don't
S
disagree with that.
means like basically a regular brutal, right? So
Yeah, which is the case for a lot of the hero commanders.
wouldn't the twisters mess with your workers returning home enough to make this not a regular brutal?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so who do we have for double S?
Stetmann Zeratul?
What do you think, Eviling?
Maybe I'd say Stetmann, Zeratul, Kerrigan.
Kerrigan. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
So 3 oh. Stetboy, Zeratul, Kerrigan.
And Dehaka.
And Dehaka.
Dehaka,
And Abathur.
Yeah, okay.
That's a lot of S.
But
That's a lot of double S
a
tiers.
really easy mutation.
I don't know.
Yeah. It's a free week.
I don't know about that many. Like, double S tier is supposed to be something special. Like, Arcturus on Rifts
Okay,
to Core Hall level special.
Also, last time, didn't the last time we had a really easy mutation on this map, we had like a third of the commanders in double S?
Did we? Wait, let
think
me
so.
check. Look at that!
That's hilarious.
The last time we did like an easy Donny Vermilion one. This one is Power Trip, guys. So this one is Power Trip on Donny Vermilion with microtransactions, Darkness, and Time Warp. We had 4 double S tiers, and I think the Zero and Evil both had the same 4. These 4: Statboy, Kerrigan, Abathur, and Zeratul. Actually, it was 5. They also put in Dehaka. So do we have 5 guys in double S for this week?
Say so.
We're consistent, at least.
Okay. Okay, so who's top of double S?
Probably Zeratul, since no mining. Can do no mining.
Really?
I mean, all of them can do no mining.
well, Zeratul,
Except
yes.
except
Kerrigan,
Arcturus.
yes. Abathur, no. Abathur
No,
needs.
Abathur, no
Alarak
mining is
needs to
possible.
mine.
Tutu has done it.
I mean, wait, no spending. No spending.
Yeah,
Abathur, no
no
spending.
spending, Abathur, just toxic nests.
I mean, anyone can do no mining here because it's slim pickings. But how about no
Yeah.
spending? How many of them can do no spending?
So, from the runs I've seen by Tutu, only Manx hasn't done no spending. It wasn't on this mutation, but it was another Vermilion problem mutation.
He did Abathur no spending?
Yes, he did. It was hilarious.
Which map?
The Vermilion problem.
So just toxic nests?
Yes.
That's crazy. Tutu's actually crazy, guys.
He is.
That
Someone
has to be a
arrest him.
ground comp, of course.
Yeah, of course it has to be a ground comp,
Yeah, just
but
pure ground. Oh my Donnie. So who's top of double S?
Stetmann, I guess his workers are faster on regen, so even like Twister on the ramp won't be annoying.
Yes. Yeah, I also think Stet Boy instead of Zeratul, but like they're close.
Yeah, they're really
Yeah.
close.
Okay, Stet Boy
Zeratul has the
Zeratul.
better hero, and Stetmann has the better, I guess, worker traveling.
And like the ally buff.
Yeah.
Yep.
Who's third? Dehaka or Kerrigan?
I guess
Kerrigan
Dehaka?
Omega Worms make it go faster. I don't know.
The Abathur's
Fair
bottom.
enough, yeah.
So Kerrigan, and then Dehaka, and then Abathur. This week is a good week to be a Zerg fan. Look at all those Zergs in double S. Who's top of S?
Uh,
These
Zagara?
plebs. These regular S plebs. Zagara?
Actually, maybe Tychus.
Tychus?
I'd say Tychus over Zagara.
Yeah, Tychus.
Okay.
And then
Tychus,
Zagara Swann, I'd say.
Zagara, Swann. Who's top of A?
Karax?
Yep.
Then
Alarak?
then
Then Nova?
Nova.
Stukov?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Okay. So the rest of A is properly ordered. Who's top of B?
Mhm.
Artanis?
Artanis. Okay. And then
Yes, definitely.
Vorazun? Because you can like kind of bypass the bases at least.
you can do
with
like a
time stone.
pacifist thing.
Yeah.
And then Horner. Oh, poor Raynor.
Yep.
C is still decent, but like when there are 5 double S's, C is like a kind of slap in the face. Poor Raynor.
Big time.
Poor
time.
Raynor. What
And
what
I
would
just
Raynor?
had someone on solo queue ask me to rate Raynor higher, stop putting him at the bottom, but sorry, just to say to that one person, sorry.
How do
Raynor
you
is where he
make-
needs to be.
How do you make Raynor better here? Give him a hero. That's it. That's it.
You could make
he needs to have
mules
better
work.
unit retention
Yeah.
somehow.
Even like mules that work through slim pickings could make him pretty
Yes,
Yeah.
slim pickings is what hurts him. the
Mules
most
have
here.
worked through slip pickings, then you can actually have good P3.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. So either hero or working the mules that ignore slim pickings. But like, that would kind of nullify the slim pickings for Raynor then. He just add more orbitals.
I
don't
guess,
know.
but like
Raynor
you
needs
still
a
don't
buff.
mine from
He
regular
needs-
stuff or regular SVs, so his eco will still be worse, especially because your orbitals will be later than normal. So
And
you'll
the
still feel
patches
it.
themselves have fewer resources.
Yeah.
Oh well, kind of sucks. Anyway, that is it for this tier list, I think. I wonder if we should make like, no, it's not worth it. There are only 4 of them below A tier. Guys, hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for watching. If you have an idea for what else you could do, please leave it in a comment. I'll see you guys next time.